Discipline and punishment. These words are used pretty much synonymously, but there is a difference. So let's disambiguate. Why? Well, don't you want to use the words correctly? And no, we need to be more concise, and most importantly, misuse of the word discipline actually conveys an unintended negative connotation. But trust me, today's video is not just a lesson in word study to sharpen our vocabularies, okay? One of the commands in the Great Commission is to make disciples. Now, the word disciples comes from the same root word as discipline. So, does that mean we're to go around punishing people into submission? Well, obviously not. It really helps if you understand that the purpose of punishment is discipline. In other words, if punishment is actually effective, there would be no future need for it. What I do is think of it like this. When I think of the word discipline, I automatically silently precede it with the word self. Thus, it becomes self-discipline. Now, here's another way to think about it. When you hear somebody referring to someone as a well-disciplined child, does that mean a well-punished child? Obviously not. None of us like being on the receiving end of punishment or discipline. It's painful. But we need to be mindful that the intent is not to make us miserable. In fact, the opposite is true. For example, a well-trained dog can be let out to run free and play. On the other hand, a poorly trained dog, got to keep them on a leash or inside or in a cage somehow. Punishment should be reserved for when circumstances simply don't allow for longer-term solutions. While it is effective when it's needed, punishment has a couple of very undesirable side effects. First, it damages the relationship. And secondly, there's no guarantee that the long-term behavior will remain changed. So, when you use punishment, you have to invest in mending and rebuilding the relationship. Furthermore, without teaching the purpose of the punishment, the undesirable behavior is likely to reoccur. You see, punishment attempts to change behavior from the outside in. Discipline, on the other hand, attempts to change behavior from the inside out. Today, we live in a world that wants immediate results, immediate gratification. We have things like fast food, microwaves, and countless other time-saving innovations. Yet, it seems like we're on a treadmill at breakneck speed. Where is all the time that we're saving? I think punishment has its appeal in that it promises immediate results, just like a microwave, okay? Or maybe we're just lazy and we don't want to invest in the discipline instead. It seems as parents, as well as churches, we've adopted a model that more resembles sin management more than it does making disciples. Now, while we're at it, somewhat akin to punishment is the use of excessive supervision, the operative word there being excessive. I know of parents that are absolutely obsessed with regulating their child's behavior. They install these tracking software on the children's phones. They only permit use of the computer or television, at certain times when the parent is in the room. They insist on excessive checking in. They text their children constantly to get a deposition on their whereabouts and who they're with. I'm sure they love their children. But here's my question. What's going to happen when you're not there to manipulate the circumstances? Do you intend to outlive your child to keep them in line? Punishment and excessive supervision rely on two key elements. Number one, superior force. Number two, always being present. Okay? If anybody would be justified in using punishment to the exclusion of discipline, well, that would be God. After all, he is both omnipotent and omnipresent. Omnipotent meaning omnipotent, all-powerful. Omnipresent meaning all-present, meaning always present. You realize, of course, that God could literally force us to do his will. Or he could very much just kind of zap us, when we do something wrong. Yet, in his wisdom, he gives us free will, and he disciplines us. In fact, the Bible is flavored with examples of both punishment and discipline. So it's not a case of choosing one to the exclusion of the other. It's a case of choosing when each one is appropriate. If there's a constant need for punishment, that doesn't indicate a high degree of discipline. It indicates a lack of it. In seeking to fulfill the Great Commission and make disciples, I hope we'll be mindful of our behavior modification posture and modality. Well, that's what I think. I am interested in what you think. You can leave your comments down below. You can also follow me on Twitter. I am at DataGenesis, and you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can find the text version of this blog at datagenesis.wordpress.com. In closing, I'd like to invite you to PJNet's 24-hour, 7-day-a-week chat room where a group of believers get together and discuss topics of interest to all of us. And while you're in that chat room, you'll also see inspiring videos. This is one of them. I certainly hope you'll stop by and check it out. Get there by going to patriotjournalist.com. And in the center of the page, you'll find two links, one to the actual chat room venue and another one to the schedule of live events. I hope to see you there.